Today we are going to learn a poem from the English reader, First Flight. And the title of the poem is Fog. It is a very short poem written by an American poet called Sandberg. Now, what is a fog? Fog is a thick cloud that forms near the ground. Fog is a thick cloud that forms near the ground. Now, what are the synonyms of fog? The synonyms of fog are haze, mist. So, these are the synonyms of fog. Now, how does the fog come? The arrival of fog. How does the fog come? The fog comes very slowly. The fog comes quietly. The fog comes silently. And the fog disappears in the same way. There is also an animal that comes slowly, quietly, silently, and disappears in the same way. It is the cat. The cat comes slowly, quietly, silently, and it disappears in the same way. Now, before we read the text, let us see two words from this poem that may not be familiar to all. The first word is harbor. Harbor. There are two different spellings for this word. First, H-A-R-B-O-R or H-A-B-O-U-R. Harbor is a place. Harbor is a place on the coast where ships are tied and protected. Where ships are tied and protected. So, harbor is a place on the coast where ships are tied and protected. The next word is haunches. What is it? It is the loin and leg. The loin and leg of a quadruped. The loin, quadruped, the loin and leg of a quadruped is called launches. In this poem, the poet speaks of the arrival of fog into city and the harbor. So, the arrival of fog into city and harbor. In this poem, the poet speaks of the arrival of fog into city and harbor. The fog comes slowly like a cat. Nobody knows when a cat comes and when it goes. Similarly, the fog's arrival is very silent and it disappears silently also. Now, just as a cat sitting on its haunches and watches, so does the fog. It quietly watches over the harbor and over the city, silently for hours and moves away. Now let us read this poem. Fog. The fog comes silently on little cat feet. It sits looking over harbor and city on silent haunches and then moves on. This is the poem. Let us see the theme of this poem. The theme. In this poem, the theme. In this poem, there is the theme of nature. There is the theme of nature, which Sandberg explores through the medium of fog. So in this poem, there is the theme of nature, which the poet Sandberg explores through the medium of fog. And fog is a creeping, living entity. So the fog is a creeping, living entity that descends on a human world. And what is the human world here? The harbor and the city without any warning. So in this poem, there is the theme of nature. He explores, it is expressed through the fog, and fog is a creeping, living entity that descends on the human world. Next, the poem emphasizes the need to cultivate a quiet and reflective mind. Quiet and reflective mind. So this poem emphasizes the need to create a quiet and collective mind. And of course, there is a small message. And what is a small message? To whom this message is given? There is a small message to those people who make a pompous parade of the little activities they do through the media, social media. So that message is also conveyed. This is the theme. Once again, there is the theme of nature, which Sandberg explores through the medium of fog. And fog is a creeping, living entity that descends on the human world. And what is the human world here? Harbor and city. Of course, the poem emphasizes the need to create a quiet and reflective mind. The poem also gives a small message to those people who make a pompous parade of the little activities they do through the social media. This is the theme of the poem. Now let us see the poetic device used in this poem. The technique, the poetic device that is used in this poem. Poetic device. What is the poetic device used in this poem? This poem, the poetic device used in this poem is metaphor. Metaphor. So this is the poetic device used in this poem. And what is metaphor? It is a figure of speech. It is a figure of speech. So metaphor is a figure of speech that is used to make a comparison between two things which aren't alike. Which aren't alike, but there is something common. So the poetic device of metaphor is strongly used in this poem. Metaphor is a figure of speech that is used to compare two things that aren't alike, but there is something common. Unlike a simile, where two things are compared directly in metaphors, directly using like or as. A metaphor comparison is more direct, usually made by stating something is something else. This is metaphor. Once again, the poetic device used in this poem. The poetic device of metaphor is strongly used in this poem. And what is metaphor? It is a figure of speech that is used to make a comparison between two things that aren't alike but have something in common. Unlike a simile, where two things are compared directly using as or like, a metaphor's comparison is more direct, usually made by stating something is something else. Now I give two examples for metaphor. Examples for metaphor. Her words were a sword in his heart. Her words were a sword in his heart. An example for metaphor. Another one. Her long hair was a flowing golden river. Her long hair was a flowing golden river. An example for metaphor. One more. And one more example for metaphor. Hospital bed. Hospital bed is a parked taxi with a running meter. So these are some examples for metaphor. Her words were sword in his heart.
Hello.
Her long hair was a flowing golden river. Hospital bed is a
Password
parked
only,
taxi
you are a good
with
doctor.
a running meter. So this
ठीक है.
figure of speech is strongly used in this poem. Now let us go for the assignment or the task. The assignment or the task. The assignment. Find metaphors for the following words. Find metaphors for the following words. The assignment. Find metaphors for the following words and complete the table. Find metaphors for the following words and complete the table. First one I give us an example. Storm. Storm. Tiger. Storm, tiger, bouncing over the fields. Bouncing over the fields. So this is an example. The complete metaphors for the following words and complete the table. This is an example. Let's take thunder. Thunder. Next, storm. The storm is already over. Thunder. Snow. Snow. Fire. So once again, the assignment: find metaphors for the following words and complete the table. The first one is given as an example: storm, tiger, pouncing over the fields, and grows. G-R-O-W-L, grows. This is an example. The other words are thunder, snow, fire. So complete this table using the metaphors. And with this, the lesson is over.